Just gonna double check. Good once again. Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome to BRL Season 11, Round 5 here in Austria. We do have a small bit of issues with our microphone at the moment, so if I do cut out for a few seconds, yeah, I think it's just going to be unfortunate, to be honest. I don't think it's going to happen. Looking like, according to some of our drivers, parts of the race will be with some rain. So that's great news. With some good fun last time out in Canada. Rain after 10 minutes in the race is what people are thinking. So that is good news, yeah. Last time out, though, in Canada, brilliant fun in the rain. Hit the very last laps of the race. And honestly, could not have been more fun. 65% chance after 10 minutes the back's dry. That could be interesting. So we're just going to have to wait and see if that is all true and correct. Let's see any other drivers' reactions. Exotic happy to be back. Brilliant stuff, mate. Blackburn is going to wait to see his reaction. Discord server, mate. Come on. Give me the reaction. I'll have a look. He said if it was going to be a halfway rain race, he was going to stop. So let's just wait and see if that's true. I see you typing still. I don't know if he's going to do it, but actually, just while I'm here, it's going to be one very quick second before we start these laps. Just need to go and do just a small edit really quick. Right. Guys, right. Anyway, yeah, Blackburn eventually has decided not to say anything, but it's great timing though, is I've just sorted out what I needed to, and we're on for our first lap of the session with Kodoy here, unless he is not going to go for anything. He's got DRS open, but no batteries being used, so... no, never mind. Doesn't look like a competitive lap here. I mean, does look a little bit quick, but maybe not a competitive one. Pabloso looks like he is on the competitive one, so we're going to watch him now. Already through turn 1 we saw him, so unfortunately not going to be able to go through that one. Turn 2, the very small kink up left, and that's already Sector 1 done. It's a very short track, this Austria. The shortest track on the calendar. Not in terms of distance, I believe. I think that's actually Monaco. But in terms of lap time, this is the shortest one. Try and pick up a small bit of toe there with Kodoy, and there's a yellow flag, just, I think, as he's trying to slow down. Small lock up on the fronts there, on the front right specifically for Pablos, but it looks like he's got away with that pretty well. And this is really where you need downforce. Most people try and sacrifice their setups for straight line speed, but Sector 2 is where it's going to hurt the most. Obviously, though, Pablos here getting some purple sectors because he's the first one to be setting a competitive lap time and the first one to cross the line for his lap time. So let's just wait and see what the benchmark he's going to set is. Nice little shift down to 6th there. Should be down to 5th, maybe 4th through this final quarter. Just depends on what the drivers prefer. But at the moment, let's see it. 4.4 for now as Pablos comes across the line. I predicted that the absolute best time we're going to see here is about, I thought anyway, probably a 3.6, and Brio Harris currently at the moment on a 4.2, and even then I think a 3.6 is going to be pretty damn difficult to beat. Honestly, I think that'll be very damn difficult, or at least even to match at this point. Caden's already left. Brilliant news. We'll invite him back just in 1 second. Kodo looks like he's yeah, he is doing something still. Yeah, let's quickly see if we can add Cadon back in just before we get going, if he is there. He's not online, so we'll just wait and see if everyone if anybody else can deal with that one. So yeah, just wait on that. Mercedes just jumped up there. It's Lewis 95 in the Mercedes. Decent lap from him actually so far, 4.7. And I'm expecting that time to be close, but it's just going to depend on how close to who, really. Obviously, we saw last time out also in Canada where the midfield was just ridiculously close together, but the front were, well, good. This second clear of the midfield, really. I think the only person that bridged it half really is Litz, I believe. It was only about 6 sets away in the end, but that small gulf there was definitely a big gulf when you actually look at it. The gap from the top to the bottom was quite high. But as I'm waffling along, we've had a few laps put in between Wisburn, D-Move. basically the main ones here, and Rio Harris. I haven't actually mentioned any of those three, but they've got 1, 2, and 3 as of now. 4.1, 4.2, and a 4.2. So it's definitely quick out there. Our Hensel were nice up there as well, up into P5. So VCAR going strong, especially after the last time out where they definitely needed a good result. McLaren only had one driver, and I believe they only scored P12 with Fernek, and he is not here today. They have got their main driver back in Tyler and a reserve driver in just Colpillo, who is currently still in the pits at the moment. Skills Dan, though, looking like it's going quite quick out there. That is a purple first sector, which seems to remain. So that could be a legit purple sector 1. Obviously, people can be running different wings here, so if he does not get one here, it'll be quite understandable that he might be running some high-end top speed. And we might be able to even see it if we're on board with him. Let's have a look as he goes through this sweeping turn 6. Yeah, definitely looks a little bit less committed than other people. And, well, apparently it's still purple middle, but I do not believe that one. Yeah, that goes away quickly. So I believe that is not a good one. Rio Harris, I believe, has gone for back-to-back laps as well. I think on his soft tyres, and he's gone even quicker. So 4.0 is currently targeting. If that's on some used tyres, that's pretty damn nice for Rio Harris. Let's see what Skills Dan can do, though, across the line. That might have been a purple sector 1, because P4 is a lovely lap from him in the Alpine. He hasn't done some absolute standouts in qualifying, but this so far definitely looks like it is one. Wisbird also looking like he's trying to improve here. I think the drivers are starting to get a little bit more confident, especially on these second laps, just trying to absolutely throw it into these corners, see what sticks, because they know the limit soon enough. And there we go. Look, Wisbird just over the time he needs at the moment to go and get Rio Harris full pole position. Let's have a look. Will he be able to dip into the point threes? Will he take it really committed into here? Look damn committed to me, but I think he can still leave a bit more time on the turn 9 exit curve. We're just going to have to wait and see. Whisper to the line. Does leave that time on the table. There you go. 14 thousandths in terms of an improvement, but not an improvement in position currently. I think Jalen also here on a lap, so let's go and watch him. Yeah, at the moment, obviously, apart from the exception of Blackburn there, who actually has had kind of a horrible past few races. I mean, to be fair, he did get pole position in Canada, and by a decent margin, I believe. So he is definitely very good in qualifying, but in races currently, he's not been the best. Oh, an exotic there. Looks like he lost on the curb a little bit there, and it's just gone, took off the track. Probably just some sharper inputs there, taking him off it. Quite easy to do, actually, if you're on a controller or something like that. Even a wheel, it kind of is easy to do. But I see it most often on controller where you sort of just have that accidental sharp input. So it sends you half of the track, and that is your lap gone. Exotic, though, speaking of laps, he is on one right now in the Aston Martin. Only 600ths down in the first sector. Obviously, it's realistically just one corner. You've got to nail the apex of it, and you've got to try and get the best exit you can without going too wide. Oh, speaking of wide again, that's quite wide from Exotic. This is not really looking like an improved lap, but we're just going to wait and see if it is, because obviously at the moment he's down with 5.4 at the moment, so he's definitely going to need some sort of improvement, but it's just not looking good for him at the moment. He's not able to hook anything up. That was very close track limits there, but yeah, at the moment, CJ Drama ahead of him currently at the moment, and I know that CJ tries and right sometimes, is not always the best in qualifying. So Exotic, especially, I think he does some quite high qualifying positions, and there we go, up P10, he does manage to get a lot of time back in that final sector, so I believe that was where a lot of the time was left. But yeah, what is nice about this track is the gaps. There is really not much. Oh, Jerry Sato, I'm sorry, we saw that off board, and he was decided to quickly just pull into the pits as I believe that was Pablos coming into the pits there. Someone also went high up to field. Yeah, Tyler there. Only up 600ths, but obviously goes ahead of our Henson. So yeah, gaps are close, and this is exactly what we want. I mean, obviously, this has got really the issue of DRS trains. DRS trains been awful in this game so far, and we've only got a few weeks left of it now. So I think we're all just hoping that F125 is good. But oh my goodness me, hold on a minute. Kodoy up into 4th. Lovely lap from him, actually. The Hatch drivers usually have their standard qualifying, so it's usually from Jerry Saff rather than Kodoy. But Kodoy's put in an absolute stunner of a lap there. And D-Move has just found his way off at the exit turn 1. Probably putting a bit too much power on out the corner. It's quite greedy, this first sector, to be honest. You've only got one chance to get it properly right. And I think he's just gone and, yeah, just put too much power on. I think that was him just getting a bit too greedy on the throttle himself there, trying to make up the lap time. And that is him need to go back to the pits, or he'll just go and call off his tyres and start again. Hazard, I believe, also set his lap because he's currently with a blinking fuel light there, so he's on a 4.9. Blackburn, here we go though. Looks like he's doing a decent lap so far, but that was quite a clout with that curb. Even though the curb's pretty flat, it's very easy to unsettle your car on this game with those sort of curbs, and he definitely lost a bit of time on the exit of turn 3. Looks like a nice turn 4 so far though, using all the track and maybe trying to get a tiny bit more out of it, but obviously you can't get too much out of it because otherwise you are going to get that track limit strike, and he's very close there. I'm not surprised it's a purple sector 2 to be honest, because he is very tight on his track limits so far, and we know he's been quite quick in qualifying. He is, I believe, the only multiple pole sitter so far in this season. 2 poles in round 1 at Monza and last round at Canada. I will need to fact check that one though, so just bear with me on that one. But yeah, P4 for Blackburn so far, so not too bad considering where he was. Let me double check this actually, let's have a look. Yes, I believe he is. Yeah, Blackburn, I believe, is the only repeat pole sitter. Yeah. Wisburn and Tyler both have 1, but yeah, Rio Harris also the one not on pole, and Blackburn just gets out the way, I think, of the McLaren, who actually could have been on a lap there. May have enjoyed the slipstream, I'm not too sure, but 16.2 looks very competitive actually from Cole Billow. Let's just double check this actually. Cole Pillow 62, yeah, or 16-0 maybe. Maybe not fully competitive, but definitely a nice lap nonetheless. Looks like Jalen, I think, also has come across the line there for P10. But yeah, I think someone else actually then crossed the line. Yeah, Aiden, P14. Not really great for the Aston team so far, but obviously they still got about 6.5 minutes to go and redo their laps and come back stronger. It just really depends if they can hook up the laps themselves. But yeah, look at these gaps. Incredibly close between the fields so far, all things considered. I mean, think about, we had about 4 or 5 seconds off in some of these tracks recently, and now it's, well, I mean, with Cole Pillar's edition, it's now only about 1.4. But yeah, Kadon also actually managed to join back. I actually kind of forgot he was not in the session, so thank you to whoever invited him back. Thank you very much. I just completely forgot about that one. Yeah, anyway, see the drama. Looks like he's backed out of his lap there. Maybe he had an issue in turn 3, but turns off the ERS there, and he needs to go back to it. Cole Pillar, I believe, is also... no, he's not on another lap yet. Let's see, though. Wisburn, he is on a lap, and he's got purple sector 1. That's stayed there for quite a bit, so I believe that is a legitimate purple sector 1. Let's watch it now into turn 4. Doing pretty damn nice. Who do you reckon is going to get pole? If you asked me this earlier, I probably would have said... actually, top one to be honest. I probably would have said Blackburn considering recent form, but at the moment I think Wisburn's got a great shot at it, or Rio Harris. Both of them have got some great pace on their used tyres, at least from what we've seen so far, and Wisburn definitely showing that right now. He was over 2/10 up, I believe, at that point. He's leaving it a lot, he's giving a lot more commitment now in these final few corners. I did say that he was going to have to try and do it for his final laps. He's going to come across the line. First man into the point threes. Here we go. Wisburn with a 0.39. Oh, no, but 0.9. Yeah, 103.9, not 0.39. That'd be a ridiculous up. We've sort of found that. I think that was the maximum I predicted, even with a toe there. So, yeah, don't think that's actually going to be achieved this session. But I think also my goal of wanting a 0.6 as the pole time is looking a lot less likely as well. But yeah, I think right now I'm gonna say a toss-up between Wisburn and Rio Harris. Obviously, 2 on the front row. But they have been setting some nice laps on their used tyres. Like, think about Rio Harris' best lap there, P2, on some used. I mean, Blackburn as well, also, on some slightly used tyres. So I still want to count him out, obviously. He's also got, yeah, Blackburn also says, just wait till my last lap, yeah. Obviously, I know people are going to bring it out the bag on their final laps. That's where they're going to be the most committed. So I can't make a full judgment, but at least from what I'm seeing so far, it's definitely going to be at least some shot at minimum between Wisburn and Rio Harris. Both of them have some nice space on used tyres. Blackburn also in for a shout. D-Move, the panel who actually asked the question. Yeah, you're also in the fight, mate. Just at the moment, I think your run's just been on new tyres each time. So, obviously, slightly less impressive, but still a P3. So, still impressive enough. So, I think you're also definitely in the fight for a pole position. But at the moment, someone who I believe... needs to get a bit of a hurry up here. Tyler, down in 8th. I'm a bit surprised by this, actually. Tyler in 8th was not really what I was expecting. Obviously, I know sometimes people have their, I guess, bogey tracks, ones that's not really that good at, but yeah, Tyler with P8 so far. I mean, still about half a second off pole, which I guess isn't a crazy amount, all things considered, but yeah, quite bad considering that this person has qualified on pole. I want to say round 2, but I do not quote me on that one either. But yeah, anyway, we finally got all drivers setting laps down. K-Dom goes up into P14 in the Williams. We've only got a second and a half separated grid now overall, and we now have full confirmation of that. Let's see who else is currently doing laps at the moment. Is Rio Harris on one? Yes, he is. This will be what could be his final lap. I mean, he will have probably one more chance to go and recharge and go for it, but this might be his last one on a set of fresh tyres. Is he on fresh tyres right now? Yes, he is. Let's watch it, though, coming up to the final few corners. Very nicely committed on the final turn, leaving nothing on it. Rio to across the line, and it's not it by 6 thousandths of a second. He's got one more shot. He can't pit again. He can't go around, pit again, then come back out. This is his last shot. Recharging him actually, and he's going to go for it once more, and on some used tyres now. Tyler also having a bit of a bad exit there. He might try and back out of it, but at the moment he's not. He's going for it. Tyler, believing that exit actually should be enough for him, at least trying to get some improvement out of it, but I'm not sure Tyler should be doing this, at least. Lewis here, across the line as well. We haven't seen much from him since his first run. Let's see what he does. P5, nicely done. For Lewis there. And also, let me actually look at this. Is that 9 different teams in the top 9? This is ridiculous so far. The only team that's not in the top 10, I think, is the Aston Martins currently. Crazy stuff so far, if I am correct. I think I am. Tyler also wide. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't. Oh, actually, yeah, he couldn't really go again. Blinking fuel light, obviously, really upset there. And yeah, he's gonna be down in 9th. At highest here. Obviously, to get off the track now, make sure he probably doesn't break the brake marker ball. It's not going to be making people very happy. Decides to just, I think, pull up. Make sure Richie retires manually here, or is he just messing about? I might get disqualified, son. Just be careful. You haven't heard it from me. Just to let you know, mate. Yeah, other people, I think, also, I believe D-Move is not on a lap here, but yeah, final minute though. We are seeing people trying to get their laps in early. Tyler obviously was one of them trying to do it. Exotic is also doing it. Hazard right now going to the line, but he invalidated. He was not going to improve by much either way, but yeah, he is not going to be able to get it. But look at this traffic. We got to somehow manage to find a way to get through all of this and maybe have people just not come into the side of everyone. But I don't know how this is going to happen at the moment. Lewis decides to come to the pits. Kodoy improved, I believe there. That's what it looked like, but I don't think it was. Tyler trying to get out of the way still. But everyone here at the moment. Jeremy Saff currently a 10th up on his time. Exotic a few tenths up. Let's see what he can do. Can he push his car into the top 10? Make it 10 different teams in the top 10? He just can't. So yeah, it's now going to be down to Aiden, his teammate, for him to do that. Anyway, who was that coming across the line? I think that was Pablos. A lovely lap from him up into P3, but that is his final effort. He is done, and he's just out of it there now. Who else is on laps? I believe there's a McLaren can run the final sector. Not Tyler. Let's just watch it though. Cold Pillow. I don't know how good of a lap he's on currently, but I think it's quite slow at the minute. Yeah, it's not going to be a great run to the line unless he gets to the point fours. Looks like CJ Drama behind him also is going to do it. Copilot does improve at least from last. CJ Drama looks like he's going to come to the line in a minute as well. Jeremy Saft too. Let's see what he does. Nice jump up to P8 there. Looks like I think it's Jalen going to come across the line now. What does he do? Goes up to 5th. Sauber flying high so far. V-Cub come across the line. Is that Rio Harris? No, it's not. It's our Henson. He's only 11th. Noah has come across the line. I think that was Kodoy. Wisman, I think, is next across the line, and it is 3.8. Brilliant lap from him. I think others crossing the line there, but I'm not sure what's happening. Dimu aborts his lap. Pablos still going. Rio Harris, he's gone. He's backed out of it. Who else improved? I think Skills Dan just went up to 10th there as well. But all eyes now, I believe, on Pablos. No, he's coming in. Rio Harris also in. I think that's pole. Already decided. Exotic in as well. That's it. That was very quick on the last laps, but that is your grid. And that was very sudden in the end of it. But yeah, Wisburn on pole. Rio Harris maybe quite annoyed at himself on that one because I think he had a valid lap or something. But he's come to the line probably quite frustrated with himself. Waggling the wheel there and maybe showing some signs of frustration. And that's it. I think Blackburn actually was one to come up to P3 there because I did not see him come up, at least for a little bit. But look at some of these gaps. I mean, this is ridiculous. Like, you got to think, what? This is about what, 6th to 12th, separated by 10th and a half. That's the gap realistically between pole at the minute. Like, that is mental stuff. And I think people, at least be kind of happy with what they're doing at the moment. But yeah, nothing too bad. And Wisburn will be the second repeat pole sitter of the season here, and he's going to share that one on Blackburn alongside Rio Harris, though, on the front row there with him. Blackburn there in P3, Pavlos in P4, Demo P5, and Jalen P6. Very high flying Sauber team there. Lewis P7, Kodoy, Jeremy Sav next to each other, 8th and 9th. Skills down rounding out the top 10. Henson just missing out in P11. Tyler P12. Aston Martin's lock out the 7th row in P13, P14, Kane on P15, Hazard P16, Jolly Viper P17, no, just Copilot P17, sorry, Sia Jama P18, and then Jolly Viper rounds off the field. He'll have no one on him on that bit, and it will just be him right there. Right, now where is this rain, and what will this do to tyre strategies? All things considered, I believe it is going to be rain in 10 minutes. That is what people have been told, and that is what people are likely seeing on their radar right now. So, it's likely the strategy here right now is going to be maybe some softs or some mediums. And depending on how long the rain lasts, maybe it could be mediums right now. People might choose softs later on. Who knows? It could be softs right now, trying to get the early places, go to the rain, get some nice bits of spots there. But maybe you don't want to go on use softs. You might want to go on some new mediums. Who knows at the moment? We're just going to have to wait and see after 36 laps who is going to be at the front of this field. It might not even be 36 laps. It might be 35. I might be a fraud. But, well, it looks like a pretty clear-cut strategy so far. Everyone looking like they're going to be on the medium tyres. I guess that makes sense. Soft tyres are quite high wear on this track. It's something where you don't see many double laps, but what we are going to see now is 36 laps of racing. Once the 5 red lights go out, and they are out for 36 laps of the Austria circuit. Wisburn getting a lovely start there. Will Blackback try and go round the outside of Rio Harris? He does not contest it, but he does go a little bit too deep though, and that's going to allow Pavlos through. Maybe D-move if he's able to get it. Let's go on board with him. Looks like no one has actually crashed into turn 1, so brilliant stuff. Blackburn powers back past, and he is going to get that one. Looks like side by side for the lead as well. Looks like Wisburn is under threat from Rio Harris, but he holds it really nice there around the outside line, and he is good. But he's got to make sure he's going to get the challenge back from Rio Harris. He's got to make sure he defends it. Look at it, 3 wide at the back there as well. I'm actually going to watch this first. Rio Harris trying to go around the outside, maybe slightly forced off there, the Mercedes of Lewis. But yeah, quite some argy-bargy racing here, and the Haas just trying to get ahead there, and I think he just has, but the Mercedes back on the inside. Lewis and Jeremy Sapp. Jeremy Sapp goes a little bit wide, more contact, but they are both at least through and on the skates in the end. Just Jeremy Sapp losing that position. I think Henson also down quite a few positions on their medium tyres, and I think there's also some ghost cars at back here. Kadom, I think he is still here. Yeah, he's still here. That is pretty damn quick, but Jolly Viper was losing it there at the back. Always been tagged, I think, by Cole Pillow as well, and he is round, but Jolly Viper will need to go back into the pits most likely if he's got damaged front wing, but he comes back on the track, gets a 3-second penalty. I believe that one could be argued against. But anyway, DRS is back online now for the first time in this race, and Rio Harris uses its great effect to go into the lead. Wisman tries to go for a send, but it was more or less a defensive move from the guys behind there. Blackburn and Pavlos fighting each other out now. Blackburn trying to get back into that P3 spot after he lost it at turn 1, but I think he actually got it back. But anyway, they're both on the threat at the moment for P3, P4 and P5. Dibu trying to wait in the background here for any sort of things. There's a bit of rear tyre contact there as well. That is a scary thing, really. The rear tyre contact in this game is ridiculous. So, but Pavlos try as he might, trying to get past background here on the inside. They're both leaving each other lovely bits of space, but they've got to make sure they don't lose touch to DRS out with the guys in front at the moment. It's half a second right now, but any chances for them to keep fighting, and they probably might do it, and they might eventually just lose DRS. They just got to make sure they keep out for that one though, because for fighting positions right now, it is not the best idea. It is definitely not the best idea. Your best chance to win this race is to stay roughly where you are if you're in the top few positions, and go and just keep going what you're doing. The Wisburn realistically should be the only one that's stopping with Rio Harris, and vice versa there. Maybe Pavlos wants to try and go swap for a Blackburn, but this is the sort of thing we're talking about. Moves like this should not be getting made really right now if they want to play it smart, but it doesn't matter. It's just pride at the moment for these two, and Pavlos looks like he's got the pride over Blackburn right there. Rio Harris, though, actually going for a bit of defence there. A little bit surprising. Maybe he just wants to lead back, at least for now. But Rio Harris is passed by Wisburn there. And everyone else currently, I think, is still pretty much a DRS train right now. Quite a lot of fighting going on behind too. Let's go and watch this. I think that was, Hats diving it on the inside. Tyler also having a very bad start, I believe. I saw him last from 9th, but might be wrong now. Where is position changes? Kadon brings the penalty as well. No, Tyler started 12th, and he's actually lost a position with all that. Our Henson, actually, the biggest loser there, down 4. Kodoy also not doing too great there, down 3. Pablos, though, getting the fast up in the race. As Jalen and Lewis are side by side. Both of them are trying to cover each other off for the minute. But here we go now. Look at this. Oh, Blackburn wide. I'm not sure what's happened. Maybe a mistake, or maybe got hit by someone. But he's down to 7th after being initially in 3rd. And that's already rain falling on the track. That is early. So maybe people going on the medium tyres, that might not be the best idea. Rio Harris had a little bit of a slip and slide out in front. He's going to get the DRS. Let's watch it now. Wisburn and Pablos. Wisburn trying to find a way through, but Pablos trying to make his way through as well. Wisburn, when he's trying to make a send, he's just trying to find some sort of way through, but he's not at the moment. More chaos going on behind. There's more losing being made between Lewis. Wisburn also losing ground actually to Rio Harris, and Pablos on the inside trying his best to get it. Make sure they leave some space. And I think they are going to do just that. But the rain is already falling. Any sort of big contact here is not going to do them any well. And it's very tight between the two drivers. So I think Wisman's just going to back out. D-move, though, trying to get Randy outside into turn 9. Definitely thought better of that one in the end, though. It's only flat 4 in this race, so he's got to make sure he picks the choices carefully. Looks like something we're trying to do early into the pits there. Kodoy immediately into the pits. I think it might be a bit too early for the inters, but he's going to try it anyway. D-move trying to go for a move there as well. I think it's a bit too early for intermediates, but it's going to come down soon. Jalen, though, capitalising on D-move's mistake there after he tried faking a move, and that is him up into P4. Pablos, though, his teammate, trying to maybe think about going to the lead here at the minute. Looks like he's lost shuffling behind, and I think that's people getting caught out by the only breaking some drivers, and there we go, Blackbone. Also a little bit down there, that's a Mercedes also having a big tank sapper there. And let's see who else is going to maybe make some moves right now. Sauber on the outside, Sauber on the inside, trying to box the Williams in. Looks like they've got it there. Lovely bit of coordinated move there from Pablos and Jalen. They're up to P3 and 4. D-move down to 5th. Tyler trying to make his way up there around the inside of Lewis. Lewis trying to hold it around the outside, but it's a bit of a slippy line out there, and it looks like Tyler's going to get it, unless Lewis can try and find a grip on the outside. He can't. Looks like Exotic can't find a grip either. He's struggling, and that's him down to 11th. When will people start boxing? I don't believe it's yet. Kodoy thinks it is already, and I believe he's on Inters already. Yeah, he is. Kodoy, gap currently at 12.6. We're just going to wait and see if that goes any quicker or any further down at the moment, because right now it's only just staying at that 12.6 level. He's going to eat up a lot of his tyre wear immediately if he's not going to get much gain out of this tyre. But it looks like he's hitting some sort of gain. Look at that, 12.2 now. Looks like the intermediate tyres might be one to try and go on now, but Rio Harris and Wisper do not believe that just yet. They're both fighting for the lead so far. Exotic was getting a penalty down in P11, and it's getting slippy out there now. Let's see anyone trying to go for a move right now. But obviously right now, if you wanted to go and pit, you are going to have a lot of double stack problems, especially if you're Sauber right now. Pablos being quite rude there to Wisper. Now might be an eventual report coming in, but yeah, right now Sauber's 2 and 3. Demon might try and capitalise on the issues that Wisburn's had, and he's going to get ahead as well. Wisburn from fighting for the lead into turn 3 to now P5 by the end of sector 2. So all things can change really quickly right now. Looks like Pablos also trying to think about maybe a move for the lead, but we're just going to wait. Is anyone going to go into the box there now? Aiden trying to go around the outside to turn 9. It's quite slippy, but Jeremy just trying to go into the pits there. He's got a little bit wide. Got to make sure he saves that one. Oh, contact with Lewis, I believe. But I think they're both going to be okay in the end. Elisa's car got reset, but he is all okay. Yeah, but some people, though, trying to go for some intermediate tyres now. Blackbone, Lewis, Hazard, Jeremy Sapp, I think all 3 of them have gone for the intermediate tyres, and the track is starting to get a little bit slippy now, so let's just watch and wait as we see what is the best strategy. Will Kodoy come out ahead of any of them? That is actually the big thing here. Will it come out ahead of Lewis? It looks like it'll be quite close. It won't be ahead of Blackbone, but it might be ahead of Lewis. Let's watch the mini map. No, he's not come out ahead, and he's only come out around where Hazard is, so I don't think he's made much of a net gain in the end. But remember, DRS is still on, so will people choose the benefit of DRS over some intermediate tyres? We just have to wait and see, really. Let's watch it now. Next lap. This is looking quite slow. They're already nearly 3 seconds slower than their times at the minute. Maybe the intermediates are already the right one to be on. There's no real genuine spray coming off these tyres either. but the slippery surface just making it really hard for these medium tyres to cope. Rio Harris looks like he's setting out another lap. As with Pavlos, looks like some people are trying to come into the pit. So Jalen, I think, wants to try and get that double stack threat for the Saubers out the way, and he's going to come in first of the two. Henson also into the pits there. It's likely to be some intermediate tyres. But look at this. Most people deciding to stay out on these mediums so far. Like, I'll give you a quick rendition of what's going on. Jalen currently looks like he might be the lead person out on them into Celeste Blackburn has made some severe gains on the intermediate tyres. Will be quite close. Let's watch it, actually. This will be very close. And this will be pretty important for the fight for the lead. But look at that. Jalen already ahead now. So Jalen, who was in P3, Blackburn in P6, it's about equal what they're doing so far. Oh, Jolly Viper retires. That can be anything. Safety car. That is going to help everyone who is not boxed yet. And that is going to be bliss for everyone here. And yeah, Jolly Viper crashing on the final corner, bringing out the safety car. And that has ruined everyone here that's boxed, and quite badly, I must add, as well. Haas, unfortunately, get it completely wrong. Henson, Hazard, Lewis, and I think the big ones here, Blackburn and Jalen. Both of them now, unfortunately for them, under no fault of their own, have got it wrong. And everyone here likely is going to pit for a set of intermediate tyres unless someone is going to be a bit of a psycho, thinking that it's just going to keep in this sort of half-dry period. I don't know if it will, but yeah. Lovely start to this race so far. Very action-packed. And it looks like the only people that are going to really suffer here are going to be the double stackers. And that is going to be Exotic and Aiden. But Exotic holding up the field a little bit there. Not against the rules, but he's just going to be a little bit careful with that one. So, yeah, it looks like Aiden did come out, service his team. Exotic isn't going to lose much time at all in the end, actually. So, good job from him. Cold Pillow, though. The only one risking it. And I like this risk. I like this risk a lot. Cold Pillow comes out in the lead of this race. So, even if he doesn't win at the end of it or get that real big strategy gain, he at least knows he's in the lead and he's going to have a bit of fun at least with it while it lasts. But he's just going to be a little bit careful if these people are going to be faster. That is your big issue. If the people behind you are all going to be faster on some quicker tyres, you've got to make sure you get out of the way. But, yeah, obviously big losers here. Jalen was running about P3 or P4, I believe. Comes to the pits, he's now P8. No way he's in first. I mean, well, he's net first, I guess. But obviously, if the rain is going to keep coming down, then that will be in net last, most likely. So, yeah, Cold Pillow definitely throwing the dice, but I guess that makes sense, to be honest. He was down, I believe, in P11. Yeah, started P17, up 16 places. Yeah, brilliant stuff if that happens. Blackburn, can't believe it, honestly. Yeah, don't blame me, mate. Cold Pillar, mate, if I was you and you were listening, I'd honestly just stay out. Might as well. You've got nothing to lose. If you went to pit now, then you're going to be last. But if you stay out on the mediums, might last anyway, you know? Never know what's going to happen in this race, and it might just stop raining. You don't know, but Cold Pillow, I salute you for taking the gamble, mate. I really do. It's great stuff. And I do hope, at least, that that crash was not on purpose. A few people may be thinking about it, but I don't believe it is. It's quite easy to hit the edge to the pit wall. I guess some people might find it quite hard to go and do that, even if you're trying to do it on purpose. But yeah. Sometimes when you're going quite quick and you're not really the quickest driver, it's quite easy to hit the pit wall into turn 10. So, yeah. Anyway, let's actually just go through some of this grid so far. So, obviously, I guess right now I'm just going to ignore Cold Pillow. This might be the strategy genius, but at the moment I'm going to ignore him because at the moment it looks like this track is going to be intermediate conditions in a few laps' time, especially with this rain continuing to fall. So, if we quickly look at positions, Rio Harris and Pablos 1-2. D-Win P3 where he started, but Pablos obviously a big gainer here. Lovely few opening laps from him. But yeah, this is now where we see what tyres best. I don't know how well this is going to go, but yeah, Cold Pillow does need to make sure he has them continuously warmed up. He's got to go a little bit quicker than this though, obviously to ignore that 50-mile-an-hour limit. I don't know if he's just trying to do this on purpose, just trying to just keep in that 50-mile-an-hour limit exactly. But I love it. Love he's taking the gamble here. But yeah, I think obviously people are lost out there. Jalen, Blackbone, I think Skills Down or someone was actually maybe lost out there. Henson, both Hasses. Hazard and Lewis. I think all of them were the ones that boxed early. Looks like we are going above the 50 mile an hour range that we usually use. But let's go now. Cold Pillow decides to pull it quite early, but here will be the telling thing. How much grip is there on their medium tyres? It's currently not looking like much. DRS is not disabled, I believe. Look at this, so he's already getting past before we even get going here. Cold Pillow basically getting left by Rio Harris there. And I love the gamble, but I don't think it's going to pull off. He's going to go quite deep into turn one. That is him off. So Cold Pillow, unfortunately for him, the dry tyre strategy is not working. That's leaving Rio Harris with a nice gap out in front so far. He's continuing to fall for the pack so far. He might just have to be a bit careful. Breaking into here, so we have to watch it. As we go into here, hopefully he doesn't hit the back of anybody. I think he's all good. Blackburn also, I think, actually hit the back of Aiden there. So there is a little bit of crashes going on, but I think Cold Pillow is keeping out the way of the majority of them. It's easy to get past our bike skills, and it's actually looking at this midfield so far. Who else trying to go for it? Kadom there. Yeah, Cold Pillow trying to back out of it here. And make sure, trying not to go and hit the job. He's trying not to get in people's way, obviously, on them medium tyres, but I think he's just not going to be able to get it fired up, unfortunately. It's sad to see, but yeah, Cold Pillow, unfortunately for him, it just didn't work. And yeah, I commend him for trying, 100% commend him for trying. Normally not what some people do, but yeah, brilliant stuff. Let's see though here as we actually go back to the racing, so some tyre strategies. Let's have a look though. Rio Harris 1.3 clear, so that bit with Cold Pillow there, absolutely brilliant for him. And now Pablos having to probably do some work to try and catch him up now, because I still haven't seen DRS disabled, but unless it did get disabled through the safety car, and sometimes it doesn't tell you exactly when it happens, at least under safety car, because you're already on the yellow flags for the whole track, and DRS is disabled normally under there anyway. But yeah, I believe it is disabled now. One lap has passed. No one's opening their rear wing. Blackburn really struggling to get the rear tyres down, and he's going to really try exotic here as we get up to the next turn 4. Will he try and go on the inside? He does continue trying to do it. He's also trying to fight it as well. Lovely bit of driving from the pair of them there. And even though it's just for some lower positions, Lewis and Hazard also fighting between each other at the moment. I think Hazard actually put on a fresh set of intermediates. Yeah, 2 stops. Both Lewis, Hazard, and Kodoy also. He put another. Oh no, I think yes, you might have boxed. No, hold on. I need to check this. When did you box, Kodoy? Looks like lap 5. Maybe decided to get rid of his intermediate tyres and go for it again. Jalen though has been the latest to pick up a penalty in this race. And Kodoy there also just saw that one flash up as well. He's also one to pick up a penalty now. But right now, anyway, Rio Harris is in the lead, and quite considerably, if you all consider that there's no DRS now. Looks like there's going to be much less moves, at least right now. But as I say that, look at this. We're going to go 3 wide. Hold on a minute. Look at this. Blackburn inside. Decides to send it. He's got it done. Brilliant move from Blackburn. If he can hold it on the exit. Doesn't look like he can, though. Exotic pulls the switchback on maybe 2 cars there. But brilliant stuff from Blackburn. Somehow keep that one slowed down. Great stuff. He's going to try and go on the inside again. Closes the door a little bit. Looks like Aiden's trying to get on it as well. But no, nothing doing for him right now. That was some lovely bit of driving once again. Blackburn and Exotic having some lovely bit of fun out there. It's Pablos, yeah, struggling though a little bit. We did see his car having some small corrections there. Jordy Viper leaves session. Lewis and Hazard there also having some issues. Cold Pillow, I actually respect this. He's still going on the dry tyres. I love it. Kadom trying to think of a sentence turn 9, but Henson gives him the space. Kadom actually coming to the pits there. Not too sure why. Maybe, I have no idea. I was saying maybe for some damage. Let's have a quick look as he goes up. We're going to quickly focus on D-Move in a second, but let's have a double look. Lewis decides to retire from the session, so he's gone. No, Kadom has gone on to something else. I don't know what's going on actually here. Maybe a lack of rain now on the field, and Kadom's gone on the hards. Hold on a minute. Kadom on the hard tyres. This might be quite bold here, as the rain might not be down from that many laps here. Jeremy Sapp comes up to another set of intermediates, but Kadom on the hards, that is a risky strategy. I like it. D-Move there also doing his best. DRS is enabled. So Cold Pillow maybe going on to their medium tyres. That might work and actually put him up the field a little bit, but he's got to remember that he has into pit again. So that is his main issue. So Cold Pillow actually staying out could work. I mean, he's got maybe brave 1 or 2 more laps of this rain, but that is some quick stuff, actually. As we see Rio Harris come around the second last corner, looking like nothing's going to happen there. Dimu comes in, so he's going to risk it, as his teammate has just the same done that. But, yeah, Kano at the moment, yeah, look at that. Exotic, though, having some big issues. There's very light rain falling now. A few other people into the pits. Blackburn, Kodoy, and CJ Drama both in as well. Cold Pillar, though, I mean, he's going to do his best, try and keep out ahead of a few people, but he might be boxing here himself. So I think in the end of it, done his absolute best, but I don't think it's going to work. Wizman on the inside of Tyler, though, that's going to be very close. As I think Pablos has got double overtaken there with pretty much no battery to do it. Obviously now with DRS available, it's going to be a lot more hectic now down these last straights. Skills down back past Aiden there as he just got the grip on them corners. Yeah, obviously though, Jeremy Saff, I think this was a mistake here. I don't think he meant to put on some more intermediate tyres, and he is going to live with that pain now for a little while. The rain has officially stopped. There is no more drops falling from the sky. It's now going to be the slippy track, and we can tell there, look, see the drummer really struggling to pull into that turn there. Rio Harris, though, speaking of pulling in, he's going to pull into the pits, and he's going to go on to, most likely, what is a set of hards to the end of this race. Tyler, Wisber, Pablos, Jalen, all of them following in so far. Exotic should be following in. Aiden stays out to avoid the double sag, but Pablos and Jalen, they have not. So, interestingly enough here, maybe trying to hold up someone. If they do that, that's some great stuff from them. And I think they actually have there, or at least trying their best to. But yeah, obviously here's the hold up bit in there now. And I think everyone's going to go on to a set of hard tyres. Everyone did actually start on the medium tyres, so this is the most logical thing to do. D-Move, though, looks like he's played his strategy pretty damn well. I think he actually has gone up 1 or 2 positions in the end of it all. And if he hasn't, he's at least got them warm, hard tyres now. It's still a bit hard to warm up these hards on a greasy surface. Let's see, though. Look at that. He's got so much more confidence on the brakes compared to Tyler as he tries to warm them up. Cold Pillow does get penalty in the end, though, and unfortunately he's still 17 seconds back. He's at least going to be past Jeremy South, as I think he made that tyre mistake in the end of it. And look at this, though, Inter's now starting to get that bit quicker. Aiden only having a bit of a matching time now to Rio Harris, and he's actually losing a bit of time overall to his laps. Look at that now. Intermediate's burning up out there. Exotic and Jalen also fighting with each other there, as Jalen did suffer a bit from that double stack. And look at this behind. Skills down in Kodoy, right in the back of him. All bit of contact there between him and our Henson, I believe. And Kadom now is going to try and get back on him. Hazard, I think, also doing another mediums tyre, which I actually think you can do. If it is a set of intermediates and it goes dry, wet, dry, I think you can do that. But might not want to quote me on that one. I think you can, though. So Hazard should be all okay, at least in terms of tyre stuff there. But Tyler, someone who I actually have not realised has gone up this much. Tyler's done amazingly to go back up to where he was. However, he has just got that penalty now, and he's going to need to get back into this race some way. Yeah, there we go. Look, up 9 places. Brilliant stuff from him. Let's see, a bit further down, though. Still some 2 wide moments here between our Henson and Kodoy. Our Henson going to get DRS up the driver in front, but Kodoy tries to prioritise the exit. Tyler also back past Dimu. Dimu going on the switchback. Only just saw that one, though. But yeah, I think Dimu was just going to get it. Uses the DRS as well, just to make sure he powers past. Jalen gets ahead of Exotic Swords. Our Henson looks like he's well ahead of Kodoy as well, so he's done some pretty good stuff there. And look at this now, Rio Harris, he was enjoying a few second lead out in front previously. It's now in DRS range, it'll be very close once he gets to the DRS section point, which should be now. Let's have a look, it is damn close. Did D-Move get it? He did not get it. This is the last chance really for him to go and get into the DRS, and I think he knows it. And he's going to do his best, and he has just got it into turn 2 here now. Well, at least he's going to get the run up to turn 2 and 3. He was into turn 1, but yeah, hopefully people get what I mean by that one. But unfortunately, after such close qualifying, it's now just going to be a 4-horse race from what we're seeing, which, yeah, I mean, even a 3-horse race technically with Tyler's penalty, but obviously his car's not just invisible. He is still going to go do some stuff. Ooh, early on the brakes there. No, late on the brakes, sorry, for Skills Dan or Exotic Swords 1 to 2. Whisper gets past Tyler there, but that was a bit of kerfuffle with those guys down into turn 3. There's still some side-by-side moments, though. Look at this, Kodoy and Skills Dan trying to get past each other here. Kodoy, I think, kind of curving over there. Yeah, look, grass on the right side of his tyre, so he's not going to get the grip he wants, and he doesn't. Jalen also having to maybe try and fend off Skills Dan as an overtake there, but that is not going to happen. now, I think. Oh, Blackbone! He spun on the medium tyres! Blackbone is just... Oh, my goodness me. When is it going to end? When is it going to end? The poor performance of races for Blackbone once again, down 11. I'm clearly frustrated with him there. You literally saw him wiggling the wheel. He is frustrated in that Red Bull car, and he's just not having the season that he wants. Someone who is having a decent start to this race, and actually, I was just saying start to the race, we're already halfway through it. D-Move goes on the inside there, and that's Rio Harris taken. But at the moment, he's not going to be able to shake you off completely yet. Rio Harris back with the DRS. Will D-Move try to defend? No DRS switches for him, and he's just going to get easily back past. Will Wisburn try and follow? D-Move tries to outbrake him. A bit of contact there though, between Wisburn and D-Move, as I think Wisburn wanted to just try and get as much on the inside as possible. That is not going to happen in the end though. Tyler though thinks about an inside move. Let's see if he's going to be able to get it. Looks like he's going to just be able to keep his car on the inside, but look, he forces Wisburn to a bit of a wider line. Unfortunately, doesn't really come to do anything in terms of moves, but nice bit of fighting there. Our Henson also suddenly finding his way up into P6 on the road so far. Brilliant stuff, actually, all things considered. As he started P11, I think he dropped out quite lower down because of the unlucky safety car, and he's back up to P6. Tyler also, once again, we know he's got that 3-second penalty. He has suddenly just jumped up. D-Move 2, another one who jumped up 4 positions, although I think he did get that safety car pit chance. Doesn't really matter at the moment because Rio Harris wants that lead back, and he's going to get it again. And D-Move going to maybe try and think about it on the inside. No, but Wisburn instead does. He got really cut that corner though, and I think Wisburn wants to try and go for round 2 here. It's turn 4. Let's go and wait and see for it. But I think Exotic and Jalen also trying to fight with our Henson here. Looks like we're going to have a bit of a change with P2. Maybe no. D-Move just gets it on the outside. Looks like we'll be all okay now. Our Henson, though, is waiting on the back of these two, Exotic and Jalen. Let's see, are these two going to try and fight out between each other? It looks like Jalen goes a little bit late, though. Exotic may have a tiny bit of contact with it. Our Henson trying to go on the inside, trying to get back Jalen. I think he might not have the power to do so, and he does not in the end of it. But obviously, everyone here is fighting for their lives, and it's lovely to see. Because we now have 16 laps after this race, and everyone... Well, I mean, I thought this was going to be a DRS train. I guess it kind of is still. But Rio Harris trying to his best to push it away there. 6.2. If anyone wants to go and try and get a graphic, I'm just saying, you could put a set of soft tyres on by the end of the race. And just try and go for it. Just let you know, if you just want that graphic. Made by me. Blackbird, anyway, trying to make up for his mistake with 6.1 on them medium tyres and trying to use his pace to get further into the points. But obviously, he's got that penalty as well. He's going to need to do something about it. Our Hens a little bit boxed in here, though, as Exotic and Jalen start fighting. Jalen on the inside, a little bit of a rear locking there, but our Henson looks like he's going to get two of them. There was a bit of a fight for the lead. Our Henson, though, did cut away from it slightly, but he's got the two of them on the switchback. We did see that one mostly, but I think Wisburn, yeah, also fighting with Rio Harris. Hold on a minute. I know we need to go and focus on other fights, but this is some fights for some top positions. They're doing some great racing here, but Wisburn goes wide, unfortunately. That's going to allow Tyler to get back through, and Wisburn has to, unfortunately for him, drop back down to P4. Jalen and Skillsan also fighting with each other, but Skillsan gets forced offside onto the grass and gravel as Aiden also trying his best. Skillsan also having nowhere really to go there as he picks up a penalty. Hazard, his teammate, following suit with that penalty as well. Both of the Alpines getting that at roughly the same time right there. D-Move now one next to get a penalty. Kadom gets a penalty. Everyone just over mid-race seeming to suffer from the track limits now. Rio Harris on the inside though, switches early, and he's going to get it. And maybe gets DRS as well. We're just going to have to wait and see. No, D-Move just gets it. He's only just given enough space. And I think he's going to try and just go back on the attack. But Tyler trying to go back on the attack. He's going to get boxed in. He's trying to force D-Move to the inside here. D-Move decides to back out. That is a smart thing to do there. He did not want to make it free wide. Tyler, though, on the inside, trying to get the lead back. There's a bit of wheel locking, though. Almost really forcing him off. And Rio Harris does his best to try and get back on the inside. It might not happen, though. Rio Harris somehow manages to just stay in the lead. And there's maybe a bit of contact again between Tyler and D-Move. These guys are fighting aggressively out there. Surprising stuff. They've not absolutely classed each other and other people spam round. No idea how that's not happened yet, but Wisburn this whole time just been sitting in the back here. He's the one about the penalties, as of Rio Harris. But Rio Harris at the moment is having to defend with an absolute army behind him, who does have the penalties at the moment. Aiden and Jalen trying to go side by side to turn 9. Aiden looks like he's backed out there in the end of it. Brilliant stuff. And what's best about it is that I do not need to go and have a drink. Totally not. Yeah, my throat is already starting to get a bit dry though. Look at that though, late move from D-Move as Tyler tried taking the lead there. Whisper's going to go powering past him there as well. Whisper deciding this is a time for the ERS. Tyler and Rio Harris really going for it. Whisper maybe from 4th to 1st potentially. He's going to go for it, risk it all on the inside, and it looks like he's going to do it. Whisper after having a little bit of an opportunist move on D-Move, I believe. Tyler was just absolutely fighting D-Move for the proper fun of it. Tyler as well, also forcing D-Move a slight bit off the track. I think these are all, well, I mean, I don't know what to say. These are all highly aggressive moves. And wow, I don't know what to say, actually. I mean, my throat is also killing me. Yeah, highly aggressive moves at the moment. Obviously, depends on what people are going to think of these ones. There might be quite a few reports coming in and people are not happy about them. But I think that is great to watch, as long as they don't end in genuine spins or anything like that. That will then be awful for us. But anyway, looks like top 4 still keep all their front wings intact for now. Do I believe it's going to happen? Do I believe it's going to happen? Do I believe it's going to stay that way? No, I don't think it will. One of these guys will eventually come and crash. And at the moment, I'm going to believe it's with Tyler and Rio Harris. I think those two have been fighting each other quite a lot. Let's see, though. Will Tyler prove me right? He's going to go for it down the inside. It locks up. Rio Harris just giving enough space there. And there we go. Definitely just showing me the signs there. And I think those two are going to get very aggressive by the end of this race. That might be my internet. If that is my internet, then I'm very sorry. Because Aiden is... Well, okay, Aiden is fine. Okay, we're all good, we're all good. That was a bit odd there for a second. I was wondering what the hell is he doing? But no, we're all good. There's, yeah, still a 4-horse race out in the front. But if their fighting continues, we could maybe have a 5-horse race with Pablos coming into it. He's trying to push a lot as well. I can clearly see it. Tyler also getting past Rio Harris before turn 1 here. So I think these two are trying to play a bit of games here now. There's Rio Harris, I mean, I think he really knows now his threats Wisburn, more or less. Rio Harris is just trying to have Tyler just ruin his race as much as possible. Wisburn, I guess, what's the point? He's trying not to turn in there occasionally as well. These all are moves you can do. You've just got to be very careful on how much you do it. Obviously, also fighting on the back of this pack. Both the Astons trying to do a little bit of a blocking there for Henson. Henson trying to go on the inside again, trying to complete that switchback move that he did earlier on. The skills Dan now is on his outside. He should have nowhere to go now. Look at this stuff, 2x2. Henson unfortunately having to lose out because he's going to be a little bit cautious this corner. Both of the Astons now acts like a sort of ball. Will Skills try to go right through the middle of it? No. But he might get past one of the walls here of the Aston Martin drivers. It's very close out in front as well as Tyler gets passed by Rio Harris. Our Henson skills Dan. Looks like our Henson's put right on the outside of him there. That's a brilliant move if that was the case. My goodness me. Brilliant stuff so far. As everyone here just sitting back for the DRS game. We're just going to look at this now. Because obviously this stuff is just crazy. Oh, yellow flag though. Kadom looks like he's had a bit of an issue at the back of the field. Let's see though at the front of the field what is going to happen now. Tyler on the inside well before the corner as well. Looks like D-Move will also get a little bit more impatient now as there's only 10 laps left of this race. Goes on the inside of Wisburn. He's going to take the place. Let's see. Well, D-Move, he's trying to use DRS here. He's trying to probably fight Tyler really. And Tyler instead is just trying to fight everyone, trying to see if he can get anything out of it. Oh, contact in the end of it there. Not sure what happened, but Rio Harris and D-Move now side by side. This might give Tyler a bit of an edge here if he's able to have a bit of DRS breaking away from DRS, sorry, if he can, but I don't believe he's going to be able to. Rio Harris and D-Move already sorting out squabbling, and they are all good. But yeah, at the moment, no one is stopping the great Aston Martin wall between Aiden and the Exotic Swords currently. These two have been holding P6 down, at least between one of the two, for quite a while. And Tyler doing his best to break the DRS. He's not able to do it, though. And he's now got that very limited battery. And, well, we just have to wait and see now what happens. Demon, though, looks like he's got a bit of a nice exit there on Rio Harris. If he's a bit not very smart here, he might go for a move. I hope he doesn't. He does not. Okay, all good news. I'd say if he was not smart, he would then absolutely send one, and then that could have ended in absolute tears. But right now, looks like the Aston Martin will just swapping on who to defend now as they box our Henson in. Brilliant stuff from him. But Aiden maybe getting a bit wrong there, though, as our Henson is going to try and get him on the outside now. And there we go. Yeah, our Henson getting past. Skills Dan getting past. Henson is the one to break the Aston Martin wall, and he goes back up into P6 now. It looks like there's also been contact there, though, between Skills Dan. Skills Dan trying to demolish the Aston Martin wall here. As Skills Dan almost pretty tapped Exotic round. Aiden's trying to really squeeze him out, and he does. He has to make sure that Skills Dan yielded there, otherwise he was going to go off into the gravel, and he does that exactly how it would have panned out. But yeah, now I believe it's going to be the same sort of thing again. But now the Astons might have to start holding down P7 and 8 and let's get after Henson up the road once again with that DRS. And the DRS is also, well, as you can tell here, very powerful. Look at the speed. Rio Harris is getting down this straight. Will he go for the move now? He doesn't. He's just going to decide to wait until turn 4. But these these three also getting very impatient. Tyler has a mistake. That's going to be the easy move for 1, 2, maybe 3. As I think Wisburn's going to get the move now done and dusted. Tyler from first down to 4th with just one little mistake there. And our Henson looking like he's holding ahead of the Aston Martin so far. Will Skills Dan try and do a sort of send on the inside here? You can see that he's flashing. Will Skills Dan do it? It looks like he's quite late on the brakes, but not late enough for the moves. And as we see all of this, though, Kadom and CA Drama, both of them are fighting for the very wooden spoon positions. But from what we do see here, though, at least, it's at least for a point. That's good news for me. And also, at least Colpillo, he's also getting some action in this race. Honestly, love this strategy, but obviously the wrong one in the end. He's at least still having some fights with Jeremy South, another one who also messed up his strategy in the end. But they're having at least some fun during this race. But yeah, on to lap 29 now. We're almost into the tail end of this race, and we're still having fights for the lead, just like this. Wizard trying to think of a move on the inside. As Deepu tried going out of it. Looks like nothing else so far to be happening. I don't believe Exotic might send it from there, but he might. Let's have a quick look. Our head's trying to harvest. Looks like Exotic's going to go for the send. He's going to do it. On the inside, our Henson isn't going to get DRS down the straight either. He gets the better exit, but I don't know if that's going to help him now as we try and go down to turn 4 without contact. Let's have a look. There's almost 2 by 2 as we see behind there. Jalen and Skills Dan fighting each other. Looks like our Henson left just enough space with Exotic swords there that he's fighting with. Will Exotic try and go around the outside? Let's see. He does his best. Our Henson races his car nicely. He's going to keep in P6 right now. Skills Dan and Jalen was having some very nice fights there. I think Jalen, though, did get pushed off slightly onto the grass or something similar, because I did see him with a little bit of grab on his tyres. Look at that, though. Exotic really trying to go for a sort of move here. Look at this stuff. On the inside, Kodoi trying to go with Jalen, I believe that was. But yeah, unfortunately, Kodoi not able to go and do that move. It's very damn risky one. And Exotic, though, going for the move into turn 1. Interesting stuff here, as we actually see out in front. Look at this as well. Brilliant bits of fighting all over the place. Rio Harris coming in the lead, but he's now going to have to defend from Wisburn. He's the one about the penalty. He's got to realise that one. DRS train is so boring. Blackman, mate, you're bloody texting me on you're bloody messaging the chat on your phone. Stop it, lad. You got to actually go do the race. It might not be boring for me anyway. Yeah, as we go back to the actual live action. Yeah, our Henson and Exotic fighting each other. Aiden trying to get in on it. Let's see if Iron are able to do it. Contact behind, though. And I think Jalen Skills Dan got too greedy with each other. That's going to allow Kodoi through. Blackbone now gets the excitement he wants, but not the excitement he needs. And that's contact, and more contact. My goodness me. Well, you've broken the DRS train, Blackbone, but at what cost? He's still 11th, and Jalen finally, unfortunately for him, actually, as well, gets damage out of that. Hazard also, actually, for some reason, slowed down there. Maybe got some illegal overtakes, but our Henson, someone who has basically held him up to that point, is now in P6, but also has that 3-second penalty. He's also getting past there on the inside. Demon gets another 3-second penalty, so he is not going to be able to fight for this win or the podium anymore unless Tyler gets another penalty. Rio Harris back in the lead so far. My goodness me, yeah, it looks like these two, though, Tyler and Demon, fighting each other quite aggressively here. Yeah, not surprised by the eventual contact, to be honest. The race is going almost too well for contact. But yeah, Kodoi, who was, I think, momentarily up in P6 there after that. I think he was like P11. And then in one lap, he goes on about 5 positions. But yeah, he's back down to B8. So slightly bit more of a reality check there in the end of things. And realistically now, we're in the last 5 laps of this race. Who is going to go and do what? Kodoi and Henson still trying to fight each other out, though, in the sector 2, which is quite surprising. I don't know if any of these guys got damaged in the end of it. I don't think any of them did. Aiden somehow didn't either. No idea how. Do not ask me. But yeah, anyway, let's go back to the fight for the front of the pack. And let's see, will Wisburn try and go for a move on the inside right now? Looks like Rio Harris broke it a little bit early, and it definitely was shown there. Tyler doing his best to try and close up. Aiden also passed to Henson. Now Henson looks like he's had a mistake there. He was ghosted, or maybe been hit slightly. I don't know. 1 to 2, but he's now down to 10th, and that's also going to be a potential move there for Aiden out in front. Rio Harris also gets past there by Wisburn, so Wisburn currently the leader of this race. Koidoi, lovely bit of defensive driving until he got absolutely switched back by Aiden there. And we're back to the Aston Martin wall. After all of that, we're back to the Aston Martin wall with P6 and P7. So somehow it's worked in their favour. But yeah, their only issue really is that penalty that they've got there for Exotic Swords. I believe it's only 3 seconds, yeah. But Aiden really needs to do him a solid if he wants to try and keep that P6 in the end of things. Maybe Aiden will want to go do something for him and absolutely hold the field. But I don't know how it's going to really happen here at Austria. They've done their best as two, but as one person trying to defend in this DRS train, it's hard, and it's got to be very precise there from Aiden if he wants to try and do that. Anyway, we go back to the front of the race. Tyler, though, treating it like he's actually doing something good. Koidoi decides to retire at the end of the session for some reason. I don't know why he's done that, but anyway, Rio Harris was on the inside of Wisburn there, and Tyler followed him through. Tyler decides to go for a send on Rio Harris, and he's doing it anyway. Wisburn on the inside now, trying to take his chance. Rio Harris leaving him all the space there, and I think he's just going to get it on the outside, maybe trying to go for a bit more of a move. Here we go, though. Wisburn trying to run the outside. Rio Harris leaves the space. He does have a bit of a mistake there. Rio Harris now going to defend. Will try and defend there from Wisburn. He's now made that mistake, and the first proper signs of pressure and tyre wear are coming into these drivers now. We didn't fully see it here. We've seen some very cautious moves and some very risk-taking moves, but we've not seen mistakes. And that is the first one I think we've seen. Maybe due to tyre wear, or maybe due to just putting the throttle on too early. 1 to 2, or it could be both, because it definitely can be both. But Rio Harris there, looking like he's got it all to do now, trying to pass Wisburn. And Wisburn, I think, will do all he can now to try and get past Tyler on this lap. He's going to need it if he wants those extra cars in the way. Dimu, though, trying his best to get past Wisburn himself, and then past Tyler himself. Because obviously they're still fighting for their positions in case Tyler gets penalty. But Tyler's acting like he's not got a penalty at all. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he does. Who knows? But Tyler obviously fighting as much as he can there. He's up 11 places, and if those penalties are not legit in the end of it, then he can go from P12 to P1. So really impressive stuff if he can do that. But we're just going to wait and see. The Aston Martin wall continues to be held pretty well here. Almost 3 wide, though. As we see behind there, Henson Skills down. Looks like Skills down has some contact there. On the inside, they were braking too late as well. I'm not sure what's going on, but everyone is getting increasingly desperate now as they fight for their final positions here. I'd at least be of the opinion right now that Aiden should probably start defending for Exotic to go and run up the road, but I don't think they're going to do that here at not VCOB. I don't think they're going to do that here at Aston Martin. I believe they should at least do their best to get away from our Henson Skills Dan. Skills Dan and our Henson are the threats, as they had a free kick penalty, but I guess he is still helping him out with the DRS that he is getting from Aiden. They're going to make sure to play it still continuously right. But at the moment, the top 4 still says it is. Rio Harris are doing his best to get past Dimu, because the man he needs to pass is the man right ahead of him, not the man in the lead. Rio Harris doing his best to get past Dimu. He's not able to do it, though. Oh, no, he is. He is. Okay, right, cool. Rio Harris does get past D-Move there. I'm not sure what happened, but D-Move, I think he's not really able to get any further than P4 in this race. Our Henson and RTC Aiden also trying to fight each other there. Looks like Henson, all bit of wheel locking though. Aiden almost half round. That breaks apart the Aston Martin wall apart from each other. And that's going to leave Exotic Swords to try and fend off our Henson Skills stand. They might still be able to get the eventual good results here. Tyler has a mistake though, coming out the final lap here. We are watching the fight for the lead only on this final lap. Let's watch it. Almost 3 wide into turn 1. They are going for it here. Rio Harris gets past Tyler. We now know that it's a 1-car fight. But there is a car, there's a lap car of Kano maybe about to give Wisburn the DRS. He might save him in the end of it. Will Rio Harris go for the send? He's going to go for it from far back. Wisburn turns in slightly, but both are going to get a DRS here as Wisburn just gets saved by the Williams of Kano as he comes out the pits. I think he's going to do it as well. Wisman just manages to get past. Tyler also getting past. Rio D-moved there. So I believe he's going to stand on the podium after all of this stuff that's happened. Rio Harris, though, try as he might in the end. That send was calculated from him, and it was maybe going to work unless, well, unless not for that Williams. But that Williams is going to need a massive thank you from Wisman there. It has protected him on the second DRS straight. He's going to come round now. The final corner. His saviour's right in front of him. But he's not going to matter now. Wisman comes across the line to win in Austria. Rio Harris try as he might by the end of it. Really great sends and really great moves. He was unable to get onto the top set, but he takes a P2 after all of that. Finishes where he started, I believe. Tyler, brilliant race as well, up into P3 by the end of it. Exotic is not able to hold off R. Henson in the end of it, but R. Henson drops down a place behind Aiden in the end of it. Aston, in the end of it, cannot keep their 6-7 spot. R. Henson does break some of that, at least for his benefit. And yeah, other than that, some decent point scoring for Alpine out there. P9 and P11, Blackburn, the sandwich in the middle of that one. Jeremy's unfortunate for him with the wrong strategy in P12. Jalen as well, really unfortunate for him. Just thought I had everything wrong go for him this race, and he is gone. City Drama is going to be classified as P15, even though he left the session. Cold Pillow at least gets 1 point to his name. And Kadom come around the final corner. Will he take the fastest lap in the end of it? He does. Kadom, the saviour for Wisburn, also gets the fastest lap there. Wow, brilliant stuff. Worst driver on grid is definitely me, Blackburn. Yeah, no, it's not, mate. You did all right still. But, yeah, brilliant. I was really happy by the end of that. And to everyone watching, that was amazing. We're always having some lovely races here. And for a track that's never just DRS trains, that was some damn good fighting, I believe. And we're going to now turn our attention away. Melbourne, Interlagos and Silverstone. We've got some pretty lovely races to go here. Season 11. Let's go and quickly just update the drivers' standings for you. Let's go quickly to make sure it all saves up here. I believe most of these results are correct to what it should be in the end. Other than that one should be Cold Pillow. We're not going to run through the results just yet. Actually, no. We are going to run through the results. Anyway, yeah. All these provisional, of course, as for the standings I will be reading out in a minute. But yeah, Wisburn takes the win in the end of it. Rio Harris P2 after trying to fight so long for the lead of the race. Unfortunately, was not able to get it. Tyler, lovely recovery from him in the end. P12 to P3, D-move it in P4. Pablos in no man's land really, but keeps P5. Aiden P6 with his teammate Exotic in P8, just behind R. Henson in the end of things. Skills down P9 and Blackburn finishing in the top 10, at least for his sake. Has a decent jump up in him for P11. Jeremy Sam P12 after the wrong strategy choice. Jalen P13, Cold Pillow P14, the last round of the points. Kadom eventually will finish P16 with the fast lap, at least for him though. City Drama will be classified P15 in the end of things. So Kadom at least does get the graphic for his sake. Kodoy P17 as a DNF in the end of it. And I'm pretty sure it was Lewis and Joy Viper as the two DNFs in the end of it. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, brilliant stuff. And I think people are quite happy with that one in the end of it. I mean, maybe other than Rio Harris probably not being very happy with Tyler in the end of things. They were both going very aggressive with each other by the end of the race. And I do not blame either party for being a bit upset with each other. But anyway, let's have a quick run through of the provisional, mind you, drivers standing so far. Rio Harris on 103 points in the lead currently still, but the gap is at 4 points now between him and Wisburn in P2. Wisburn there on 99 points. Tyler still the outside chance on 81 points, but obviously 22 behind Rio Harris now. A demon there on 73 in the end of things. Our Henson at least moves up one position for him ahead of Josh, who did not race today. And Pablos also moves up ahead of Skillsdan for P7 in the championship. Blackbone holds his P9 in the championship at the moment, and Exotic rounds up the top 10. In terms of the team standings, Racing Bulls almost 50 points clear at this point to McLaren. Top five actually saying the same in the Constructors' Championship here. McLaren, Ferrari, Williams and Sauber. and Aston, with their nice points towards the end of it, do gain 2 spots on Alpine and Red Bull respectively, as they drop to 7th and 8th. And I believe that is everything there. I think shoulders out is the best way to describe this race, and we're going to have a few more rounds of that to the end of the season and to the end of the F124 game. I've Mr. Cookie. This has been BRL Season 11 Round 5, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.